Hey guys, just wanted to give you an update on the election. I've actually had a number of you email me asking what's happening, and just thought I'd give you a brief overview of what has happened over the last really 48 hours in your 2020 election. As most of you know, these are the only three candidates that really were left when we left the school building. It was Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, who's in the middle, and of course the President Donald Trump. Now, Sanders and Biden were the only Democrats left in the field, and they were looking to go against Donald Trump in November. Now that this is all over, Bernie Sanders has decided to withdraw after the Wisconsin primary, which was very controversial because the Democratic governor of Wisconsin basically said, I don't want to have the election. Very similar to what our Republican governor here in Ohio, Mike DeWine, said about our primary earlier in March. He said it was not a solid decision. It was not something that we should do. So now we are doing our voting through the mail. Remind your parents that they should get their absentee ballots through the Hamilton County Board of Elections. They can do so by going on the website and ordering it. But they have until the end of this month to get their ballot from the Board of Elections, so please remind them. But anyway, our primary was put into a mail-only version. Wisconsin didn't do that, and Wisconsin actually held their primary yesterday, or actually Tuesday, I should say. When they held their primary, people were lined up for really miles to vote, because A, there's nothing else to do, but B, because of social distancing, they had to go 6 feet between individuals, so it was very chaotic, and quite honestly not the smartest thing to do during the pandemic. Anyway, after all that was said and done, because the Democratic governor of Wisconsin said, I don't want to do this, and the Republican State House and the Supreme Court overruled him, they went forward with that election. When they went forward with that, Bernie Sanders realized that there was really no clear way or no clear pathway to the nomination. So he decided to drop out of the election, and now Joe Biden is the presumptive nominee. Now we have to wait until the summer when both the Democrats and the Republicans hold a convention. When they hold their conventions, that is where they officially count the votes and they decide who their candidate is going to be. It's going to be Joe Biden, who was the vice president under Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. Donald Trump will definitely be the Republican nominee. All this is coming down during this crazy time of pandemic. The economies, which used to be very solid, and usually presidents that have a solid economy get reelected. So Donald Trump was riding high with low unemployment, with solid returns on the stock market. We had a pretty booming economy, but that is not the case anymore. Because of that, it's now Donald Trump's election to lose, because sitting presidents who have bad economies don't do very well. Just ask George H.W. Bush. George H.W. Bush lost to Bill Clinton back in 1992, not because of poor foreign policy or because of bad domestic policies, but because the economy was in the midst of a recession. And now that every week we seemingly have millions of new people on unemployment, that doesn't bode well in November if the economy does not rebound for Donald Trump. Now, keep in mind, Bernie Sanders supporters are not happy that he's dropped out. They're not happy because he's not really a traditional Democrat. He's a little bit more of a socialist when it comes down to it. So his ideas of free college, of forgiveness of loans, of Medicare for all, these are really kind of extreme Democratic proposals, and Joe Biden has to find a way to get Bernie Sanders supporters back into what is known as the tent for the Democratic Party before he goes up against Donald Trump, because he can't win without Bernie Sanders supporters. Hillary Clinton found that out the hard way in 2016. So a couple of you would ask questions about why Biden didn't seem to be very popular. It's not really that. It's that his followers got what they wanted, so they're trying to kind of temper their emotions, while Sanders supporters, as well as Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, all those other candidates out there who have since dropped out, Amy Klobuchar, whoever, since they've all dropped out, and now Bernie Sanders is added to that, it's Joe Biden's job to bring all those people back into the party before going up against Donald Trump in November. Because again, he can't win without his Democratic support. And of course, he's got to find a way to get the people in the middle that are not decided either way to go his way instead of Donald Trump. If you have any other questions, let me know. Please, email's always open, and I hope you're having a good spring break. Happy Easter to you and your family, and please stay healthy.